So, guys, the World Economic Forum, the big, bad, evil meeting in Davos that takes place every year, where all the world leaders are scheming how to enslave us, having their next plans for us peasants. Obviously, I'm just kidding, but this year is especially interesting, especially watched out. I'm watching it. I'm usually not watching it, but yeah, this time I decided. So I would like to invite you to watch it with me right now. I'm planning to watch. Haven't watched it yet. Not even a bit. The Chancellor of Germany, Friedrich Merz, has had a speech on the forum. So let's take a look.
Profound change. Geopolitical tensions are high. Trade is fragmenting. Security has become an urgent priority, and technological change is reshaping our economies at remarkable speed. Europe must respond to these challenges, and Germany, as Europe's economic engine, carries a particular responsibility, shaping the continent's future. I know after your speech here, you will be going to Brussels in another meeting, but as you saw also, Mr. Chancellor, things do happen in Davos, there are processes, and I guess the discussions around Greenland is going to be a little bit easier this evening in Brussels. Since taking office, you have sent important signals.
Not sure what he's really referring to.
A shift in fiscal policy, significant investments in defense and infrastructure, and a more active German role on the international stage. As Mario Draghi has warned, without bold action, Europe risks a slow agony. This moment therefore calls for leadership that provides clarity, confidence and resolve. We very much look forward to your speech, and thank you for your very important leadership in challenging times for Europe and Germany.
Challenging times indeed. Challenging times.
Now,
Challenging times.
President Borge Brende, ladies and gentlemen, the calm and peace up here on the magic mountain in Davos is at stark contrast to a world whose old order is unraveling at breathtaking pace. Let me share with you how the new German government is looking at these tectonic shifts and how we are addressing them. These shifts have the most profound ramifications for our freedom, for our security, and for our prosperity. In these weeks and months, we are witnessing.
What does it mean by our freedom? What does it mean by that?
A new
security, prosperity. So he implies that what America is doing is going to have an implication on all those things. Scary, right?
Era has already begun. Russia's war of aggression against Ukraine has been the most drastic expression so far. But change runs much deeper. China, with strategic foresight, has worked its way into the ranks of the great powers. The United States' global pole position is being challenged, and Washington reacts by radically reshaping its foreign and security policy. We have entered a time of great power politics. The international order of the past 3 decades, anchored in international law, has always been imperfect. Today, its very foundations have been shaken. This new world of great powers is being built on power, on strength, and when it comes to it, on force. It's not a cozy place. We do not have to accept this new reality as fate. We are not at the mercy of this new world order. We do have a choice. We can shape the future. To succeed, we must face harsh realities and chart our course with clear-eyed realism. 2 days ago, Mark Carney said in this hall from this place, we must no longer rely only on the power of our values. We must also recognize the value of our power. I share that view.
That's a very powerful statement, right? Basically implies that we have to rely on our power. We need to start arm ourselves in order to protect our values. It seems like we are being slowly prepared for the possibility of conflicts all around the world.
And when I look into this room, into this hall, I want to say most of us share it. And that is a good starting point. European friends, if I may say so, our power today rests on 3 pillars: our security, our competitiveness, and our unity. First, we must invest massively in our ability to defend ourselves, and we are doing this. Second, we must rapidly make our economies competitive, and we are doing this. Third, we must stand closer together among Europeans and among like-minded partners. We are doing this. As we forge ahead, we must never forget one thing: a world where only power counts is a dangerous place. First for small states, then for the middle powers, and ultimately for the great ones. I do not say this lightly.
So, for everyone, right? It's dangerous for everyone.
In the 20th century, my country, Germany, went down this road to its bitter end. It pulled the world into a black abyss. So let us bear
He means abyss.
in mind, our greatest strength remains the ability to build partnerships and alliances among equals, based on mutual trust and respect. I remind you, after 1945, the United States of America inspired us Germans to embrace this logic. On this foundation, NATO became the strongest alliance in history. This is why we hold true this idea. Now, in recent days, the United States administration has vehemently demanded greater influence in Greenland. Washington has argued that this is an imperative to counter security threats in the High North. We welcome that the United States is taking the threat posed by Russia in the Arctic seriously. This threat is itself an expression of great power rivalry. It is aimed both at Europe and the United States. We experience it daily in hybrid attacks in the Baltic Sea and in Russia's winter war against the people of Ukraine. We share the conviction that as European NATO allies, we must do more to secure the High North as NATO. This is a common transatlantic interest. Germany is doing just that. We are doing it in the framework of NATO, and we will do more. Our neighbors and partners in Europe, including Denmark and the people of Greenland, can count on our solidarity. We will protect Denmark, Greenland, the North from the threat posed by Russia. We will uphold the principles on which the transatlantic partnership is founded, namely sovereignty and territorial integrity. We support talks between Denmark, Greenland, the United States on the basis of these principles. I have discussed this with President Trump, Prime Minister Frederiksen, Secretary General Mark Rutte, and others in these days. The aim of these talks is to agree for closer cooperation amongst allies in the High North and beyond. It is good news that we are making steps into that right direction. I welcome President Trump's remarks from last night. This is the right way to go. This is the right way because any threat to acquire European territory by force would be unacceptable. And
obviously, it would be unacceptable. Obviously, I mean, I don't understand really what the United States, what they were thinking, or what they are thinking in threatening to take Greenland, just, you know, for pennies or with military. It's crazy.
Ladies and gentlemen, new tariffs would also undermine the foundations of transatlantic relations. If they are put in place, Europe's answer would new age of great powers. Europe must stand together resolutely and sovereignly. And secondly, we should not give up on NATO. At the historic NATO summit in The Hague last June, we created the material prerequisites for this. Europe will invest hundreds of billions of euros in its security. It was a remarkable transatlantic success. Now we must repair the trust on which the alliance is built. Europe knows how precious it is. We feel deeply that it can be the United States' strongest competitive advantage in an age of great powers. Democracies do not have subordinates. They have allies, partners, and trusted friends. Let me paraphrase this in German in a few words. Wir haben die Schwelle hinein in eine neue Welt der Großmächte überschritten. In dieser Welt weht ein rauer Wind. Diese Welt wird uns Härten und Gefahren zumuten. Das spüren Sie, das spüren wir alle. Machen wir uns aber auch bitte klar, dieser Welt sind wir nicht ausgeliefert. Wir können sie gestalten. Lassen Sie uns deshalb besonnen, Schöpfer.
He's basically saying the same, but in German. I think this is how he started the talk. Interesting talks, really interesting parallels being drawn between, I guess, United States and Nazi Germany, or in general, like hegemony, how hegemony looks like and how it ends, and reminding the United States that they were the ones who taught Germany those principles that Germany upholds nowadays. Very interesting way to phrase certain things, and obviously he's trying to diplomatically say, hey, we are your friends, what is going on? You shouldn't be acting like this with us. We mean no harm, but this is our territory, and we're not going to give it up. It's as simple as that. And I think that was the main core of this course, of this talk, and also telling us that we are moving into a world of great powers, and Europe has to be one of those great powers and still wants allies. But Europe is going to be probably in the future, at least in the minds of people like Merz, more integrated, more united, more federalized in a way, which is kind of needed in this modern world. Unfortunately, fortunately, we don't. I've dreamt about this when I was younger. Oh, Europe can be like the United States, but I'm not sure about this plan anymore. Seeing the bureaucracy and how bureaucracy can be banned, how democracy can be banned by bureaucracy. I'm sorry, but our politics. Let me know what you guys think about what Merz is saying. What do you guys think? Are we heading into a more hegemonic, more great power world? I mean, it's almost undeniable that we are. Are we going to stay there? Is it suddenly? He says, "Oh, this doesn't have to be permanent," but it seems like it is, and the world is going to reshape in a dramatic way in the next 5 to 10 years, and it's going to be so dramatic. We can only fantasize, I think, about how it's gonna look like on the other end of it. All right, guys, take care. Let me know in the comments, like and subscribe, and see you in the next one.